Well, hey there, Aquarius, and welcome to your February 2021 Astro and Tarot report, tailor-made just for you. But first, a very special message. Happy birthday, Aquarius, and thank you so much for being the pioneers into this crazy new age that we find ourselves in. But you are on fire and you're lit up, just like I said in the Global Village report. You are lit up like a Christmas tree and everybody can see it. And it's awesome. So keep doing it, okay? So here's my Astro notes for you. Obviously, the Global Village report fills in a lot of blanks in terms of the basic structure of what it is that we're going to be going through for this month, as well as for the next 2 years-ish. So you have the biggest planet party of the year. This is why most astrologers are saying that this is us crossing the threshold into the age of Aquarius. The actual transition where we're living in the age of Aquarius is probably going to take hundreds of years. I mean, think of how many years each one of these ages is. Probably around 1800, somewhere around there, I think. I don't know. I don't remember these facts. But here it is. It's all about your identity. Who is Aquarius in the Aquarian age? Well, are you all of those humanitarian things? Are you all about brotherly love? Are you about innovation? Or are you about perfectionism? Because here's the funny double-edged sword of truth that comes with the Aquarian age. And that is that not only is it about humanity's advancement and their evolution, but it's also about in our attempts to be the best that we can be. If we're coming from a place of fear, the inevitable result will be fascism. In Aquarius energies, that's how it manifests. So this is why it's so important that all of us, but especially you, Aquarius, approach this new age with courage. Because if you come from a place of fear, from a place of feeling inadequate, then you'll lean into fascism. And here's the funny thing. I remember the first time that I realized that fear would have me desiring fascism. And it was around my children and in school and the kinds of things and the protection that we should be putting into the environment for our children. When I stepped back from it, I was like, oh my God, okay, so that's how it starts. So this is why courage, if you're uncomfortable, if you are a little scared, if there's some trepidation about the steps that you have to take in any direction, that's where the money is. Literally and figuratively. But if you're looking for comfort from a place of fear, then you will unconsciously be asking for a fascist structure in your life. So with the courage comes your service to humanity, comes your service to innovative solutions to the complex polarities that all of us find ourselves battling right now. So even if you're not feeling it, that's the time when you got to fake it till you make it. As a little break that you're giving yourself just before you really get your grit together and face it. So with the entrance of all of these planets into your sign, Mercury is joining the party too, but Mercury is retrograde. So it's going to be about surrender, and then letting go, and then surrender. And that means Aquarian control tactics and stuff really need to be put away in the drawer. And you need to become almost, you know, the passive observer to your own identity and the own way that you conduct yourself. If you're like my Aquarian besties and buddies and clients that I've been reading for, well, then you probably know you've been in a bit of a cocoon for a little bit now. That, you know, this whole set of circumstances that the world finds itself in has given you a great opportunity to kind of go to your cave, you know, and to figure out who you are and who you want to be, because you've just finished a big cycle, and you've had, up until now, you've had Jupiter and Saturn in your 12th house. So that's like taking a blender to your psyche and shaking up all of those unconscious behaviors so that you can see them and keep the things that are the most authentic part of you, the part of you that is human, the part of you that is innovative, creative, and spontaneous. But to leave the perfectionism, that's not going to pass through this gate. Each sign has to deal with certain behaviors and patterns of existing that will not pass through the gate. So this is that one for you. So, you know, it's like this cocoon time has been your sort of last little existential crisis before your new unveiling. And so the moon is going to be a whole different set of circumstances. So I'm going to cover that after this. I'm going to hop a little back and forth, but you'll see why in a minute. Because the tension points, and this, you're going to start to feel like the really, really uncomfortable stuff around like February 15th-ish. And there's going to be other events where other people's experiences dovetail into yours, and these fatalistic points that are going to happen, that are going to catalyze the situation. And so Saturn in your sign, your teacher for the next 2 years, is going to be square Uranus in Taurus on February 17th. So this is your first house square your fourth house. So your first house is all about identity and who you are to the world, and the fourth house is who you are at home and what home means to you. So this is, again, you know, you've gone internally in your 12th house. You've been internalizing all of that stuff for the last little while. And so now that it's coming out into the first house, now it's starting to affect your immediate environment in your home. And there's some jarring stuff going on around the 17th. So prepare yourself for that. And that in tandem with the general energies of Mars and Uranus in Taurus. Because Uranus is your ruler. So its opposition to everything that's in your house is a big deal. So, the energy of Mars and Uranus and Taurus in your fourth house is going to help you create the safe space at home for this new version of you. It's going to be safe for you and all the people that you're sharing your space with. So, you know, the fun stuff is with the moon. So February 11th, just ahead of all of this tension, it's in Aquarius, baby. So, you know, it's going to feel very much like your birthday. The energies of freshness and newness and you ain't been here before kind of feeling is really going to solidify around the 11th, just ahead of all of this time that's going to show you what this new you is doing to your environment. So, on the full moon in Virgo, February 27th, so after all of the tension, this is in your 8th house. So this is in that area of the most intimate ways you share with the people closest to you, the intimate dynamics of those 4th house relationships. Where am I? Yes. So you're going to be committing to that work, you know, that helps you heal, that helps heal the relationships that you have with the people that you live with, the people that you consider home, and everybody realigning as necessary. And as you progress through these changes, what's also happening to you, Aquarius, is almost like what a shaman goes through in the initiation phase into the mystery schools. So be prepared for magic in your life. Be prepared for those poignant moments where you know that this is one of those fated times, predestined, where your soul really connects with the souls of others in a meaningful way that you know has purpose and that you know is going to influence a good portion of your life from here out. So, I think that covers the astrology for you, Aquarius. Very exciting times for you. It's amazing the energies that I'm feeling already. And my bestie, she be Aquarius. And I've had many friends over the years who are Aquarius, who are brilliant, mad geniuses in their own way. And, you know, it's, and I was watching The Peace Dealer yesterday, and he was saying, everybody gotta fly that freak flag, you know, because there's a bit of the freak in every Aquarius too, on many different levels. And, you know, that's one of the things that that we love most about you. So let's dig into the cards and see what's happening specifically for the new age of Aquarius. Well, look at that. I think your 4th house stuff is going to be a piece of cake to work through. And even though at times it may feel very scary, you know, because, you know, not only does it touch on issues around security, but it's emotions too. And, you know, for an Aquarius, emotions can sometimes be challenging. Queen of Wands is the obstacle. So you may be finding some difficulties or hesitations in actually stepping into this hot new you. I think you're scaring yourself a little. Judgment card. Because you have spoken in your own way, you know? It's like, and it's great. And you know what? Everybody is just, they're just sucking it up. They're like, more, give me more, Aquarius. Where? Tell us how to go, please. Because I think you felt a little underappreciated in the past. That people haven't really appreciated just how brilliant your sparkle is, you know? Yeah, you know, you are the epitome of this. You know, you are here to serve. And you are here to create balance. And you recognize the efforts of those in your community, and there's balance in it. It's healthy. So what do you got coming? Look at that. There's that truth, that sort of truth. Are you a perfectionist or are you a visionary? Can you be both? I don't think so, really. You know, and maybe what you need to tweak, maybe the truth is that failure is good. And if you failed at things in the past, if you're not perfect at something, that's maybe the very thing that makes you perfect. Just a thought. You know? So, you, Aquarius, you are going to see the light soon, my friend. You know, the work, the keeping everything going, the, you know, keeping the stability, while also trying to be this new version of yourself. Is forcing you to create boundaries that you haven't been comfortable with voicing before, but you sure are having to do it now. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. You're going to have to get over that. But this is exactly the thing that you have to let go of. Probably the whole thing around what people think of you. You know? And the truth is, it just doesn't matter. Because you're shining brighter than anybody. Whether you see it or not, whether the people around you see it or not, I'm telling you. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so we've got, I'm just going to put all of these cards in your environment. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Wands, and the Six of Cups. So look at that. Your soul ties in your home environment are definitely going to go through a little bit of stress. And it's going to throw you off a little bit. But this is part of, you know, how, whether it's one person or 5 people, this is a critical juncture of your soul's journey and the karma that you have with the people around you in your home. So yeah, it's heavy for a reason. Ace of Cups is your hopes and fears. This is where you want to be, for sure. Seven of Swords. Well, you may come to some deception in your environment, and the energy is coming from reflections on the past. Okay. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be light. It's good, though. Like, it's really, really good. I think I need some water. Okay. So let's grab the little cards and start clarifying. We have the Ten of Pentacles clarified by the Ten of Swords. So if your home has been the source of pain, betrayal, tension, too much thinking, maybe too much perfectionism, you know, things not ever, you know, living up to expectations. You know, again, it's like extremes, right? Yeah, because there's a new beginning. It's a new age. See, it's the age of Aquarius. That's the doorway. And it's big. Big things are on the other side of that doorway. Probably good thing to take time out, take a rest, to contemplate exactly what this new beginning looks like for you. Because there may be things in your environment that are not helping that out. So for the Queen of Wands, well, you got a little royal party going on here with Queen of Wands is clarified by the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Let's see if I can. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you can see it. So there may have been a dynamic between you and an earth sign that actually was suffocating the Queen of Wands. And so the Queen of Wands would be that fire in you. And, you know, maybe, you know, the old you was a little colder. Now you've got some fire. But there may be an earth sign or lingering ties to an earth sign that are not really serving you. Yeah. Clarifying the Judgment card, we have the Page of Cups, and Page of Cups for this go round seems to be about authenticity. So it's like the foundation is that you have found your authentic self, and there may have been an old paradigm within your home, you know, or what you wanted out of home, and it's like you're just discovering the authentic part of who you are right now. And while you may have not been able to articulate that in the past, you're sure going to find the words really soon. You know, you're finding yourself. You're finding your voice. Ooh. Past and not being appreciated. Yeah, because, you know, it's possible that either you or the people you've been involved with have been players who really aren't in it for the cups, you know? They're just there for the fire. So, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely a time and place for it, but that's what's leaving. That's the energy of old, you know, that old player, you know, or, you know, dysfunctional relationships where you're chasing people who are emotionally unavailable and who don't really see who you are, and they come in and out of your life, you know, kind of willy-nilly, you know, and you're done with that. Yeah, there could have been a Leo at some point in your past, or, you know, it's like, you know, there could have been somebody actually too who was battling some sort of maybe even like a sex addiction thing, and so, you know, there was a dynamic in terms of, you know, the animus and ration kind of control, or divine, you know, kind of um, perspective on things was what was really intended, but it never got out of those base places, you know? So now in your crowning position, we have this Six of Pentacles. So this is you at your best. I mean, and here's the irony, right? Taurus is associated with this card. So it's funny because, you know, with Uranus and Taurus, and yet I really see the picture on this card, this idea of the philanthropist and those who receive. And, you know, and Aquarius is a phenomenal philanthropist, but also understands that there's very little difference between, you know, this person and that person, and that those roles are interchangeable. If anyone who understands that concept, it's definitely you. So it's like, as you come in to this new authentic space, it's you know, that's what you're presenting. And so now it's a new answer, because the vibration of the call that you're putting out is different than the vibration before. Yeah, you in some ways you don't want to be this person either. It's like, enough already. It's giving you anxiety to be the one to provide. And you know, and that's not even just financially. That would be, you know, emotionally as well. But this is what's changing. Right? Wheel of Fortune, right here. All that anxiety, you know, especially like if this has been your only source of anxiety, look at that. Poof, and it's gone. That's what the Age of Aquarius is going to mean for you, because you're going to need courage, you know, to really step up and fire. Look at that. New passion as a result of new truth. You know, when I said lit up like a Christmas tree, I wasn't kidding. You know, like you are seriously moving and a shaking. Top of your game. King of Swords, right there. Top of your game. You got your truth, you've got your passion, and you're ready to go. You know, you're ready to drop this. You're ready to drop this. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. 10 is the limit. There we go. You want someone emotionally available, a real lover, and someone who's going to stand with you so you don't feel like this guy all the time. So this is the truth that you're coming into, Aquarius. And this is the effect that it's having on your environment. A little bit of change, a little bit of fighting, and what's that? That's the Six of Cups. That's soul purpose stuff. That's soul mates. That's, you know, it could be that it's, you know, that this is what's going to be drawn to you as a result of you speaking your truth and, you know, striking that match, saying, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. It's a delicate balance, isn't it? Separate away from the existing drama and figure out what's going to balance out the equation. You know, how can you make these changes gracefully? Well, maybe at first it's not going to be grateful. Or maybe at first it's not going to be graceful. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's perfect. Because, let's face it, Aquarius, you know, we've all got some limitations. This lockdown is driving a lot of people crazy. You know, it's time for the people around you to become self-sufficient so that you are free to continue this great work that you have to do. And, you know, and others are going to have to figure things out on their own. So your fears are old toxic behaviors. What am I manifesting? And can I pull it off? You can if you love yourself enough. This is self-love. The Two of Cups comes after you figure out how to love yourself, your new authentic self. And then none of these things will be a concern. Okay. We have arrived at your final outcome of the Seven of Swords. Let's take a look at what it has to say. Oh, it doesn't want to say anything. Nope. Knight of Pentacles. Some sort of immovable force. Or, as a result of deception or theft, something has stopped. It's the end of something. This could be pretty intense. Because the world is also kind of triggering me to your fixed nature. So this is, you know, this anxiety, the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the Ten of Swords at home. There's something significant. Yeah. And once the truth comes out, you will have success. But it's not going to feel very good at all. And it's going to trigger the trauma that you may have had from past situations. But this is it, man. That's it. You know, and it's only happened this one last time so that you could really recognize it. Turn your back towards the future. Turn your back towards the past and face the future. You know, you're not going to have any reservations. After whatever February brings to you in terms of a shakeup, I'm thinking sometime around the 17th of February, your authentic self is going to come out in Technicolor. And the truth and the nature of your truth will be, you know, double-sided, you know. What is a double-edged sword? It'll be double-edged. It's going to clear everything out that doesn't belong anymore and allow you to truly move forward, because this whole situation has you stuck looking at the past. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in this one, you're looking at the past. In this one, you're looking at the future. So, yeah. And, you know, you're going to do this gracefully, even though there's going to be times when you're going to maybe not feel quite so graceful. But that's going to make it perfect. Because it's what? It's authentic. It's real. So don't doubt yourself, Aquarius. Oh, you're getting an extra long one today. Okay. Well, it's only fitting as it's your birthday. So, I just need to, like, wow, that was intense. My friend, cheers. All right. Put those aside. The Oracle of E lightens things up really nicely. So, hang on to your hat, Aquarius. It's going to be a wild month. But I have every faith in you. But this is part of picking up after yourself. You know, these are the last things, the last trailing bits of crap in the corner that need to be swept away. And, you know, but the cool thing about it is that it's going to stimulate you to step into who you are. Just remember to stay in courage and not in fear. Because you have been gifted with X-ray vision into everything. And not everybody can see everything you can. Okay? So it's you can see what's really going on. You don't forget that. All right, and as my Aquarian friend Karen has enlightened me with some of the lexicon of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, so I have integrated it into this reading for you. So this is the Distant Early Warning deck by Marshall McLuhan, a personal hero of mine. I'll be talking about him a lot more on this channel, so stay tuned. I have my first conversations with a friend on Sunday night on my new show, Boneko and Friends, which there's a promo for at the very end of this video. But for now, I'm going to pull two cards. One card for the energy of your universal experience. Oh my. I'm not going to take those. It's way too many. I just want one right now. One card for the energy of your universal experience. And the other is advice from your superconscious. All right. So, Marshall, what do you have to say? Oh my. Energy of your universal experience is I drew the coffin. I'm not going to interpret these things for you, Aquarius. Advice from your superconscious. The chicken was the eggs idea for getting more eggs. And that's where I'm going to leave it for you, Aquarius. As I said, I have a preview for my new web show, Boneko and Friends, conversations about nerdy stuff like history, the brain, holistic stuff, and tarot, etc., etc. Just, you know, hanging out, that kind of thing. But I also have, right after this reading, I have a preview for readings, extended readings that are on my Patreon site. So one for relationships and one for career and work life. So if you find you resonate with those, then you can follow the link below to Patreon, pay a small subscription fee, have access to the extended reading for this month, as well as not only for your sign, but for all the signs. And also going back a bit too into last year. So I hope you found this helpful, Aquarius. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy, happy birthday. like, are you seeing each other, or are you just seeing the reflection of yourself in each other? You know? You know, your partner's playful, but you're the villain. That was an interesting turn. Because you are content in your own happiness. It's definitely a very nice sensual connection. It's not like, well, for you it might be fireworks. Oh no, for them too. But you're not going to have the answers probably until after Mercury goes direct on the 20th. But it's going to eliminate any doubts that you have. And even if you don't have all the information, you know that it's coming to you. Your confusion around this circumstance is going to linger for a little while, and you're just going to have to be comfortable with it. But trust that luck is definitely on your side, that your home is secure, that that new beginnings, you know, in your career from the past, or, you know, actually maybe a new beginning with something in the past may be the thing that's ending. But there's another opportunity that's close on the heels. Once your confusion dissipates, yeah, it's going to be a big decision, and you're not going to want to make a decision about it until you've gotten all the information, which will likely come in, I'm thinking, March.
Uncle Bob, Robert Anton Wilson, a contemporary to Timothy Leary.
Marshall's like, amen, sister. Amen.
Right?